Greetings, fellow Cameroonians and Anglophones in particular. Maurice Kamto have finally put out a message which we have been waiting for. And disappointedly, in his message call, the call for the candidate, he did not support one candidate. Instead, he is open to the idea of even having multiple candidates to challenge Pobia. He says he does not believe in being the kingmaker. And that is contradictory for somebody who wanted Manindem to make him the king. So, Maurice Kamto have called for the political parties to decide by themselves and choose one person. He doesn't want to choose anybody. It is disappointing, but we have seen Patricia Ndamjoya. She has visited Maurice Kamto. Atiki Kakson, also presidential candidate, have visited Maurice Kamto to put him pressure, to put his weight behind a single candidate. So far, we have not seen any pressure from any MRC or the Basque or any diaspora francophone movement putting pressure on Maurice Kamto. I have reacted under his tweet. The message he's put out, it is called Call to Candidate. It is both an acknowledgement of opportunity and a confession of political failure, according to me. And I've expressed that to the people that talk to me who are close to him. With just few weeks before the elections in Cameroon, Maurice Kamto appeal, which we had expected to support a single candidate, appears to be very weak and has exposed what has plagued opposition politics in Cameroon for a long time. It is all about fragmentation and ego. There are few issues that I want to point out in his message. Number one, timing problem. At such a late stage, barely weeks or days before election in Cameroon, Kamto is appealing for unity. The person we are all looking up to. Everybody is looking up to Kamto. Instead, he is appealing for unity rather than delivering a very decisive stand and support to a single candidate. This projects indecision and undercuts the urgency of the moment. True leadership would have demanded earlier actions, not late in the game. It could have demanded clear directions and personal sacrifice from Kamto himself. Number two, avoidance of responsibility. If you read at the message, Kamto clearly shifts the responsibility to who he calls the candidate, which is 11 presidential candidates that are running against Pobia, while disowning the rule of kingmaker. But doing so, he betrays the expectation of millions of people who look at him as the main opposition figure in Cameroon. The international community, everybody knows that Maurice Kamto is the main political figure, the most popular person that people have hope to challenge Pobia in this election. His refusal to openly endorse a single candidate is not neutrality at all. It is not. It is a failure to act, failure to take responsibility and act on the trust and hope that people have placed in you. And this is not surprising to us. Number third thing is symbolism. 11 candidates. His football analogy, you remember Maurice Kamto, he said that like a team, he's trying to be poetic. He said like a team, there are 11 candidates, it means there are 11 players in the field. They should choose one amongst them who can play the penalty, But this poetry also reveals the absurdity of the situation in Cameroon that we are facing under this dictatorship that has lasted for decades. And the opposition remains more like a scattered players arguing over who is supposed to kick the penalty. Now me, now you, who is supposed to kick the penalty? Then the real person who was supposed to kick the penalty is staying behind and asking the other players to choose. If a team is not disciplined, if a team is not organized, and that is the problem in Africa, we have the best players, they play in Europe, they play and perform well, but they come back home, they have nothing to show. Etofis is one of those type of example according to my own analysis. Number 4 issue is regional dynamics. Regional dynamics in Cameroon. By calling out 2 sons of the North, Kamto reveals the dedicated balance act of Cameroon regional politics. Instead of forging a cross-regional pact, he waits until the last minute to appeal for patriotism, talking about the sons of the North. But this message will resonate because that is what we are. We are still tribal, we are still regional in our thinking, which is what drives the position we have taken in Prague, that it should be a regional issue. The people in the North should campaign in the North, the ones in the South should campaign. Everybody go back to your region to support one candidate. That is what he said, and it is actually nice, but it doesn't make up for his failure to act. Number 5 is the disturbing realities. This is not just about Kamto's word. It is about what his hesitation represents. Because Kamto is hesitating. His supporters are creating stories, creating theories. Hesitation represents the persistent inability of Maurice Kamto's leadership to rise above his personal ego and personal ambition, or his suspicion and of other people. A leader must rise above those things. He has to be able to take leadership and give Cameroon a single candidate. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my comment and reaction on Maurice Kamto's message. I have reacted on it on Twitter, and now I want to address you people, all Cameroonians who listen to me, and those who are influenced by those who listen to me, because it is a chain. We have read this Maurice Kamto call, read it very well, and reacted to it. We have heard the words of Maurice Kamto, a very careful person who chooses his words. And yet, what strikes us the most is not hope. We didn't feel hopeful reading at Maurice Kamto's words. It echoes hesitation, reluctance, fear. Cameroon is at the brink of history. For the first time in decades, the chance to defeat tyranny through the ballot box is truly within reach. But what do we see? 11 candidates. 11, not even one. All dreaming of power. None of them focusing on any agenda except Issa Chiruma in his campaign who talk about transition of the country. Yet none of them is willing to sacrifice for the greater good. 11 candidates who looks like a football team going to play against one person. Yet they cannot put a common front to challenge Paul Biya. Just imagine this. If you are a woman, you were born when Paul Biya took power, you'll be now experiencing the early symptoms of menopause because he's 43 years in power. Imagine, if Paul Biya win the election, he will be getting to 100 years by the time he finishes his terms. It's ridiculous that Cameroon cannot come together to win somebody like that. They are still confused about who is going to take the penalty in Maurice Kamto's analogy, poetry. While the clock is running out of Cameroonians who hope for change. The Paul Biya himself has even gone for holidays. Maurice Kamto tells us that unity is possible. He admits that change is within reach. If only the opposition would come together. This is Maurice Kamto's own words. Yet he himself is falling short of making that unity happen. He appeals, but he does not commit. He speaks of responsibility, but he avoids his own responsibility. He refuses to be the kingmaker, but yet he forgets that in moments of destiny, in moments like this, leaders do not choose comfort. They choose sacrifice. He has gone through a lot. We know his story. But true leader, for the sake of the common interest, for the sake of the nation, chooses sacrifices over their own comfort. My people, this is disturbing because history does not wait for those who hesitate. Change does not come for those who are reluctant and sits with their hands in their buttocks. A divided opposition is a gift to Pobia. A refusal to choose is a decision in itself. The decision to let Pobia's machine continue to rule the country, generational theft, unchallenged. Even if we know that elections are not really fair, the chances this year that it will be fair is very high, because even the mechanism to put corrupt officials and put mechanism to steal election is not being done by Pobia, because the job is being done by Cameroonians themselves by being divided, by Ambazonian doing lockdown and stopping opposition to participate despite the education we have given. Cameroon deserve better. We deserve people who put their country ahead of their ego. Unity before ambition. Victory before pride. We didn't see that in Ambazonian struggle. We are not seeing that in Cameroon. The people are ready. The common man on the street is ready. The streets are ready. You can feel the energy. I meet Cameroonians, I talk to them, you can feel the energy. But the so-called leaders remain trapped in their political self. Cameroonians, their leaders are not ready because the people have not also been educated to be able to challenge their leadership. Groupism, tribalism still hold the people in chains. If 11 candidates cannot rise up at the moment, then the bitter truth is this: they have betrayed the people. The people's hunger for change. They have betrayed because people by themselves cannot act. They rely on the elites, those who know better, to help them, to lead them, to guide them to act. They have turned our hopes into a spectacle of ridicule. History will remember that when this chance came, when destiny knocked, they choose their names, they choose their political party over Cameroonians. And who is going to blame anybody to continue the mess that we are seeing there? Let this be clear. Whoever refuses unity today are not alone. We have refused unity in Ambazonia. We have refused unity everywhere in Cameroon. Everywhere. Our people and the common man who listens to us should know all those time for speeches are over. All are over. It is a time for them to realize their situation in Cameroon, their reality in Cameroon, and think and reflect. How can we go forward for a way that benefit us, the Bayam Selam, the Ben Sikine, the common man, my own country people, them for ground, my mommy them, my papa them, what picking the way they go school, the small diaspora where they go hustle for Dubai, they want come back. They take all money for them. Cameroon government, they take money for motor where you buy them. You can't give money for bribe. You high pass money where you go buy motor. It means that they thief for you. Make money pass my way, they even produce motor. How can that system change? Now we the common people that we need for start them. And for we will believe say it start by you knowing your right. Being empowered with knowledge. Knowledge is power. Never undermine knowledge. We want the grassroots to be empowered with knowledge. To do activism in a way that will build political capital for real change. To build activists and inspire youth to be able to hold everybody accountable to their words. Do their research. Ask questions. To protect and safeguard the public interest. We'll continue to monitor the election progress. We'll continue to give you comments and highlight you what you have to know. And point the light. like a hill, like a
city on a hilltop. Have a good day, everybody. May God bless you all.